we're doing is making prompts in new source code. I'm not sure how many people saw this presentation from former Professor Andrew Ng at YC, but what he observed is that using tools like Cursor, Cloud Code, Gemini, CLI is crazy fast to build prototypes, way faster, 10x faster. It's like a tale of two cities. While prototypes is really fast, for real production code, it's more questionable. It's almost like throwing a grenade in the code base. It never shows to be added, changed, or deleted. This is a picture of Cursor. For Cursor and tools like it, the main character is the code. The prompt is off on the side there to patch the code. Every time you put a prompt into the chat box, it patches the code. The problem with patching the code base is that it essentially causes technical debt. And just like real debt, if you have too much technical debt, you go bust. What we did is we took a page from Andre Kaparthi, where he says, the hottest new programming language is English. We basically flipped the script. We made prompts the source of truth and the code the generated artifact. The neat thing about this is that you have no technical debt. And the theory behind this is, I see a lot of people wearing nice clothes today, but if they only got a hole in their shirt or pants, they're not gonna go patch it. And why is that? Because after the past 50 years, the cost of clothing has plummeted. Where if I get a hole in my shirt, I'm just gonna chuck it and get a new one. What do you think has been happening to code? The cost of code has plummeted. 3 years ago, it was super expensive humans writing code. Today, it's AI, and AI has gotten cheaper. So why are we patching code? Well, this is the big deal behind prompt-driven development. Let me show you what we built today. What we had before today was the prompt-driven development command line interface. This allowed you to use prompts as code. What we built today was basically an IDE around prompt-driven development. What it allows you to do now is instead of having to use command line terminal for everything, you can have your product requirements document, you can regenerate the architecture, and what prompt-driven development does is it takes a system and then generates all the code modules in there. You can click on that, generate the architecture, basically partition the system into separate code modules, and then the way prompt-driven works is it treats the prompt as a source code. So rather than treating the prompt as a patch, it treats it as a source of truth. You have your prompt here, which is essentially like a mini design doc, essentially, not a patch, like what you would do inside of Cloud Code. And then the generated artifacts are the code, the example, and the test. So every time the prompt changes, it's like a compiled language. It takes the prompt and then transpiles it into code. And then you can use this to generate the code, generate the examples. Examples are basically like a header file. It's a way for the prompt to know how to use the code, and then also generate the test. And we use something called formal verification to mathematically prove that the prompt and the code are identical. You can generate the test, fix the test, and then if there's any bugs reported, you can auto-create a test to make sure that it's good. And then if the code changes, let's say there's a small change in the code, you can now press update, and then this would update the prompt to match the code, to make sure the code is synchronized. We also have this command called sync, which would synchronize all of the different prompts, code, examples, and tests together. Our focus is on large code bases. These are some of our users.